Welcome back. This is Mr. Hassan's Maths channel, and I'm now answering question number 5 from the IGCSE specimen paper of the Cambridge 0580 syllabus. This is specimen paper B, the second specimen paper. And the question here we have is about polygons. And as we know, this is a non-calculator paper. And we're asked to find the size of an interior angle of a regular decagon. Now, in this question, they did not tell us how many sides a decagon has. They are expecting us to know how many sides a decagon has. So that's one thing that's important for us to know, is the names and the number of sides of polygons. Okay, that's something important for us to know. Also, the regular part, it means that the decagon, all its sides are the same length and all its angles are equal. A regular polygon is one where all the sides are the same in length and all the angles are the same in size. Like a regular triangle would be, a regular polygon in terms of triangles would be an equilateral triangle. A regular polygon in terms of quadrilaterals would be a square. Okay, now, so first thing we should, the other thing we should understand is that when they're talking about interior angles as opposed to exterior angles, we should understand what that means. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, if we draw a line, but I'll just draw any old polygon. Just let me draw any old polygon. Okay. Now, this is not a decagon right now, but I'm just drawing any old polygon for now. Okay. If I was to take this side and extend it, okay, then this angle here is called the interior angle. And the angle on the outside here is called the exterior angle. Right? And we know that the sum of these two angles is 180 degrees because they make a straight line. So that's a very important point. And the other thing we should know is that the sum of all the exterior angles, if I was to find the sum of all the exterior angles in any polygon, regular or not, that the sum of all the exterior angles would always be 360 degrees. So in any polygon, okay, the sum of exterior angles is 360 degrees. Okay, always, no matter what, how many sides it has, whether it has 3 sides, whether it has 1,000,000 sides. Okay, but the sum of interior angles, well, that depends on the number of sides. There's a formula, 180 times n minus 2 brackets. 180 times n minus 2 in brackets. So that's the sum of interior angles in any polygon. Okay, so the sum of interior angles depends on how many sides there are, whereas the sum of exterior angles is independent of the number of sides, always 360. Now that's going to help us in order for us to answer this question. Okay, there's 2 different ways we could go about it. I prefer to use this fact in my working, but I'll show you both ways anyway. I prefer that this fact here makes life very easy for us when we're dealing with this type of question, okay, as you will see. But before we get to any of that, we have to know how many sides a decagon has. Okay, so that's something obviously we have to know. It's not given to us in this question. It's not given to us in the formula sheet. We have to know that. Okay, so we should know the polygons, or at least up to 10 sides, maybe 12 sides, and their names and how many sides they have. So here I have a little table which I copied from somewhere, and here we're given some of the polygons and their names and their number of sides. So we see triangle, 3 sides, quadrilateral, 4 sides, pentagon, 5 sides, hexagon, 6 sides, heptagon, 7 sides, octagon, 8 sides, nonagon, 9 sides, and decagon, 10 sides. So a decagon has 10 sides. Then you have hendecagon, which is 11 sides, and dodecagon, which has 12 sides. I would suggest that at least these you should know. Okay, you should know how many sides these particular polygons have. That's something that should help us, to answer such questions. So we now know that a decagon has 10 sides. Okay, so I'm going to show you both ways of answering this question. One way is by using the exterior angles, which I much prefer, and the other way is by using the interior angles. So I know that, as we drew earlier, if you have the corner of a polygon, one corner, and this is the interior angle and this is the exterior angle, I know the size of this one exterior angle is 360 divided by the number of sides. Why? Because the sum of exterior angles is 360 degrees. If we have a regular polygon, then the size of one of the exterior angles is going to be 360 divided by the number of sides, because they're shared equally amongst each corner, right? And we know that the sum of these two angles will always be 180. So the interior angle, therefore, will be 180 minus 360 divided by the number of sides. So if we know that there's 10 sides, then we can say each interior angle is going to be 180 minus each exterior angle. So it's 180 minus 360 over 10. That gives you 180 minus 36. And we know that 180 minus 36, you can do it mentally. You add 4 and then add 40, it's going to be 44. You can do it like this. You can't subtract, take 1 from here, that becomes 7, and that becomes 1. 10 minus 6 is 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. And you got 144 degrees, not 44, 144 degrees, of course. Okay, so you have 144 degrees is the size of the exterior of each interior angle, 144 degrees. Okay, so that's 144 degrees, and that gives you the answer. Now, if you want to use the sum of interior angles, we could do the same thing. We say, okay, it's 180 times n minus 2 divided by the number of sides, which is going to be 10. So it's 180 times n minus 2. Now, n minus 2 is going to be 10 minus 2 over 10. So it's going to be 180 times 8 over 10. We can cancel out this with this. It's going to have, you're going to have 18 times 8. Okay, 18 times 8. So you're going to have, I like to do it like this. That's 18 and that's 8. 8 times 10 is 80. 8 times 8 is 64. 80 plus 64 is 144. Okay, so that's another way of doing the question. And there we have the answer. Let me just put this up here. All right, so there we have the answer to this question number 5 in 2 different ways. One by using the formula for the interior angles, and the other by using the fact that the exterior angles will always add up to 360 degrees. Okay, so that's something important for us to know. So other questions from this particular paper will be found in the playlist that will appear on the top right of the screen at the end of the video. Other questions from this topic of polygons, in geometry and polygons, you'll find it in the playlist over here. Questions dealing with geometry in general for my, this IGCSE collection will be found over here. And from the old specification, there's lots of questions that will be relevant, which you'll find in the playlist on the top. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.